Arkansas students are back in class for a second year under that bell-to-bell no-cell law.
2 local districts say they're already seeing a difference. 5 News reporter Bo Russell shows us what's changed and what new research says about the impact of these laws.
1 year after bell-to-bell no-cell went into law, Greenwood High School principal Jaron Myers says one of the biggest changes can be seen at lunchtime.
We have kids bringing board games up to the school. We have rounds of Uno being played at the lunch table.
Myers says before the ban, many students spent lunch on their phones, playing games, texting, and scrolling. But now, he says students actually acknowledge each other.
They're interacting with each other. They're just building relationships that they didn't build before.
In Rogers, Superintendent Jeff Perry says they've been seeing the same thing.
We saw a large number of students interacting more. We saw more personal connections during lunch. We saw more engagement in the classroom.
Perry says the district expected more pushback when the policy first started.
Worried about compliance. We worried about issues that we would have with discipline, and none of that really materialized.
But a new report from the National Bureau of Economic Research suggests taking phones away doesn't necessarily lead to immediate improvements. The study found that in schools with mandated lockable phone pouches, phone use dropped, but saw little change in things like test scores, attendance, or reported classroom attention.
And I wouldn't want anybody to think this is the silver bullet, because there's not one.
Perry says the law was partly driven by concerns over student anxiety, depression, and stress.
There are multiple factors behind the rationale why students are struggling with so many different issues.
While he says getting students away from phones and social media can help, schools only control about 6.5 hours of their day.
If parents, if community members, if we don't better self-regulate, we can't make those changes and can't make those permanent changes in the 6.5 hours that we have students here.
Covering news where you live, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Several local communities still being asked to conserve water tonight. Water authorities say usage is outpacing the ability to rebuild water storage levels. Tawnytown, Avoca, Bella Vista, Highfull, and Pea Ridge, just a few of those towns under this order.
Some of the activities that people are being asked to avoid include lawn watering and sprinkler systems. It comes as this heat wave is expected to continue, with temperatures, of course, in the triple digits this week. Chief Meteorologist Scott Covert is in the Weather Center tracking that heat wave.
It's going to continue likely for the next several days. How hot is it right now? It's 101 degrees in Fort Smith, 102 Van Buren, 97 in Fayetteville, and in Bentonville, 99 our temperature in Waldron. A hot and muggy evening ahead of us with overnight low temperatures in northwest Arkansas. Set to only fall into the upper 70s, that around 7 o'clock in the morning. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for us tomorrow. Mid-90s by noon already, well into the low triple digits across northwest Arkansas by the afternoon. Much of the same in the River Valley. Overnight lows, I don't think are going to break out of the 80s. That's a really mild start to the day. Near 100 already by lunchtime, in the triple digits for several hours tomorrow afternoon into the first part of the evening. The heat's going to continue. It looks like for the next at least 7 days, the pattern holds pretty strongly. There is a meteor shower tonight, and it's going to be a good one. I have made some changes to the visibility forecast. I'd like to walk you through that. We also have some new burn bans to pass along to you. The latest update there in just a few.
Thank you, Scott. Another Arkansas city is moving away from those flock safety cameras. This time it's Centerton. The city council voted unanimously to end its contract with the company after residents raised concerns about privacy and how that technology is used.
Now, that system is designed to capture vehicle information and help law enforcement locate vehicles connected to investigations. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer spoke with the mayor and the city council about this decision.
Centerton had 17 flock safety cameras and license plate readers across the city, but the mayor says that most of these weren't fully operational. Centerton Mayor Bill Edwards says he wanted Tuesday night's city council meeting to be a chance for residents to speak up.
And a lot of folks just had a lot of questions about, where's the data going, who's getting the data, who has access to the data.
Centerton first started using Flock in 2024 with now 8 license plate readers and 9 other cameras, originally to help address reports of vandalism. But Edwards says the system has been slow to get up and running.
You know, we haven't been provided the service that we asked for.
City Council member Wendy Henson says that became a real problem when a food pantry she runs in Centerton was vandalized and the Flock cameras didn't capture what happened.
When the residents speak out about something so passionately, we have to listen.
She says the council heard from residents concerned about their Fourth Amendment rights, along with questions about AI and cloud-based data.
We need to hear what their concerns were so that we could take that information back to try to come back with a better plan.
The City Council voted unanimously to end their contract with Flock Safety.
I don't think surveillance is necessarily a bad thing. The process of that is what we have to nail down and make sure that it works along with our constitutional rights.
Flock claims its cameras helped solve more than 1 million crimes last year and located more than 10,000 missing people. Flock Safety CEO Garrett Langley says the company has guardrails in place to help prevent misuse as concerns continue over who can access the data.
It's a disappointing story when I see it, but I also go, look, this is working. This is showing that if you use a tool like Flock or other tools, you should be held accountable, regardless of whether you have a badge or you don't.
The mayor says all of the cameras across the city have now either been unplugged or also covered. And down the road in Pea Ridge, they've also decided to stop using these devices. In Centerton, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks. Happening tonight in Lowell, there is a special city council meeting set for 6:30 tonight. Police Chief Tim Kuth posted on the department's Facebook page calling it, quote, a hasty attempt to move forward with selling the new Lowell Police Department and City Hall buildings. Chief also said in the post that rumors the buildings will bankrupt the city are not true. That meeting starts in about 25 minutes. Now, the special meeting agenda says it is for the purpose of discussing and potentially amending city council rules. We'll bring you any developments on the situation tonight on your 5 News at 10.
New court documents are showing that Joseph and Kendra Duggar have entered an agreement to place their case in Arkansas under advisement for a 1-year period. This agreement does not impact the felony child molestation charges that Joseph still faces in Florida. The Arkansas case centers on 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor and 4 counts of false imprisonment. It will now be placed on a 1-year advisement period. The terms of the order include each defendant paying fines of $1,800 and following any direction from the Department of Human Services. They will both have a hearing next August when all charges will be dropped if they follow the terms of the order. And new at 6, the Siloam Springs Fire Department shares one of its fire captains has died. They shared this post online with a picture of Captain Kyle Huffman. He'd been with the department since 2014. We don't have any details on how he died. Siloam Springs Fire Department says it will update the public on arrangements.
Arkansas 3rd District Congressman Steve Womack continued making stops across the area today with a visit to Northwest Arkansas National Airport. That stop included a meeting with the airport leadership and the U.S. Department of Transportation. Comes as X&A set new records for the number of passengers this summer. Congressman says the visit is all about making sure the federal government gives the airport everything it needs to succeed and meet the demands of this growing region.
When you look at the pieces that form this broader mosaic, the airport is one of those key pieces, and you don't need to shortchange it.
X&A board voted in June to approve a major upgrade for the airport. It includes the purchase of 100 acres of land to expand the western concourse and build a new parking deck.